it's Kelly here, and I am so excited to be making this fun flower basket card with you guys today. I'm first going to be using the Lawn Fawn Stripey Backdrop die, and I'm going to be cutting it out of some craft cardstock. And I'm going to be cutting 2 of these stripey backdrops. So this stripe backdrop is so cool, but when you cut 2 of them, you're going to see how awesome this is. So all you have to do is take one, flip it over, put the other one on top, and you get this great lattice look. So I'm going to add a bunch of adhesive to the back of the top piece, and then just lay that right on top to create this really cool lattice. Now you could use just this as a background, but we're going to create a basket from this. So here I'm taking a 4-inch circle, which matches our 4-inch stitch circle frames, and you'll see how we'll use those later. And I'm just going to hold that circle in place, run it through my die cut machine, and cut a circle from my lattice, which actually kind of looks like the top of a pie, which can make a really cool card too. Next, I'm going to be using that same size circle die to cut a piece of brown cardstock. I'll add some adhesive to the back of that lattice and put that right on top there to kind of give that cool brown look for the back of my basket. Now I want to make sure that I cut this circle here in half in the right way. I want to make sure the lattice has a nice diagonal pattern. So I'm just making 2 little marks there, 2 little pencil marks to give me a guide as to where to trim it in my paper trimmer. So I'm going to run that through a bunch of times, but because it's so thick, I'm still going to have to use my scissors just to trim off the last little bit. And I love that doing this card, it actually gives you 2 baskets, so you can make 2 cards at once. Now I've used the same size of the coordinating stitch circle frames to create the handle for these cute baskets. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue right along the bottom edge, and then I can line that stitch circle up and have a cute little handle for my basket. I can do the same exact thing on the other one, and now I have a second basket for a second card. So I love that just this gets 2 done at once, which is awesome. And now my cute little basket is ready to go. To decorate the basket, I'm going to be using the largest of the stitch scallop border dies. I'm going to run that on some guava cardstock, run it through the die cut machine there, and you'll see I have this great scalloped edge. I'm just going to trim it off there in my trimmer, just kind of eyeballing it, so that I'll have a nice little scalloped border for my basket. I thought that would look really cute. So I'm going to add that right on top there, and then I'll use my scissors just to trim those edges off. Now this card is inspired by a card made by my friend Lynette that was amazing, and because I couldn't convince her to do a video, I asked her if I could do a video of it because I just think it's just too cute. Now here I have one of the flower power dies, and I'm going to cut that from some sunflower cardstock, and then I'm going to use the leaf die from the flower power dies to cut some leaves out of some noble fir cardstock. Here I have some perfectly plaid paper, and I'm taking one of the patterns and using the flower center there and cutting it. I cut a bunch of them because I wanted to make sure they were really pink, so I kind of picked my favorite ones that were really pink in the middle there from that plaid. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my So Smooth stamp set. One of the little smiley faces in that set just fits perfectly in these little circles. So I'm going to stamp out those smiley faces with some black licorice ink and create some cute smiley flowers for my basket. I'll use some tape runner to adhere those flower centers right there in the middle of the flower. And one last little smiley there. I just love how cute they're looking. And then now I wanted to create some dimension for these flowers. So I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to roll the edges of the cardstock to give the flower kind of a dimension like the petals are coming inward. And the reason I like to use a pencil is it kind of coaxes the paper without getting that kind of cracking that you can get with thick cardstock. So by using the pencil, it really kind of coaxes the paper versus cracking it and gives it a really nice little curved edge. So I'm going to do that on all of the flowers, and I'm also going to be doing that on all of the leaves too, just to give that little extra something to these cute die cuts. So next I'm going to be using the Let's Polka in the Meadow 6x6 pad. I'm going to choose that really nice dewdrop color there and use my largest cross stitch square to cut my piece for my card, which is going to be a 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch card. And I love that cross stitch detail. I feel like it really goes along with the basket. So I'm going to adhere that to my card base. And now I can start working on assembling everything. So I'm using some foam tape here, and I'm cutting little pieces so I can add foam to the entire basket. And I want one of the flowers to be kind of stuck behind the basket, so I'm going to add that flower first, and then I can put the whole thing on to my card base and keep adding all of my other elements. I'm adding some tape to the leaves and placing those behind, and now I can continue to add more leaves and more flowers to fill up this basket. I just think this is just so cute. I am so thankful to Lynette for creating this card because it makes me smile big time. So now I'm going and kind of carefully placing my little curled leaves and my curled flowers into my basket using foam tape to create little dimensions so that one's kind of behind and one's in front. And you can see how cute those are looking there. Now I've used this Scripty Smile die and cut from some guava cardstock, but I wanted it to have some dimension. So I found this pink fun foam that I had, but any color fun foam would work, and I'm going to use some Stick It adhesive. What this is a very thin adhesive that has sticky on both sides, and by putting it on either side of the foam, I'm going to create a foam sticker. So now I can run this through my die cut machine just like normal, and it's going to cut it perfectly. So you'll see there now we've got the smile cut from the foam. I can peel off that first layer of backing to expose the adhesive, and then I can add my die cut piece right on top. And by doing this, I'm creating my own custom foam sticker. So now that that's all done, I can pop that out. And then I can peel off the other backing so that I can adhere it to my basket. And this sentiment just goes so well with those cute little flowers. So I'm going to put that right on top there, add the little dot for the eye, and you can see the amazing dimension of this card that really just adds so much. Now Lynette had added a cute little bow as a finishing touch, so I had to do the same thing. So I'm taking some coral lawn trimmings here, searching for my scissors. I'm going to cut that there, and you'll see they're doubled up, and I'm going to tie the bow while the strings are doubled up, just so that it has a little more heft to it on the basket. I'll trim off those ends and then use a glue dot behind the knot of the bow to hold it onto the basket, and it's such a cute finishing touch. I just love it. And here is the finished card with all of that amazing dimension. I just think this card would make someone smile and make their day, and I can't wait to see if you guys create some fun flower basket cards too. I think you could have a lot of fun with different colors and just get really creative with it. So thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!